Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. So here are the updates. So as of last Friday, if you remember, Chimba Kambui was imprisoned for 6 months for hate speech in Kasama. And today, Monday, Dr. Chimba Kambui granted bail pending appeal with 2 working sureties worth 300,000 kwacha in his own recognizance, as they say. So this is in a case where he was jailed last Friday. There are a couple of live streams that I had done about it, describing the situation. I knew that he is likely to be granted this bail today. So he's out of prison until further notice for them to appeal the case. But most likely, this situation is likely to, they'll let it run. And at the final stage, when it's almost running with 6 months, they're going to let the case go. So in short, he's just going to serve his sentence outside court. But if they so wish, they'll continue with it. So that's the situation. And then someone in the comment section simply says, politicians have the money, but at the end of the day, the money spent on paying bail doesn't get replaced, and that leads them to depression as years go by. So simply insinuating that that's one way of bilking the money off these politicians that had got the money. So people giving their feedback, they all shifted attention. His pockets have developed holes, pretty much saying the number of cases that Chimba Kambui has, it's expected that another case he might be found guilty, appeal for bail, and then eventually his money is going to run dry. In as much as he may have the money right now, eventually with a number of cases, even the richest will be ransacked. And then also, Paramount Chitumukuru was at court during the Chimba Kambui bail for bail pending appeal. So this is a video where Chitimukuru was addressing part of the people that came to listen to the court proceedings of Chimba Kambui. And then what else is here? More people respond and comment to what Chimba Kambui's post. Yeah, so people react, giving different reactions to the same. And then this is a video where Chimba Kambui eventually was getting in the car and his supporters shouting "No Bwana" and stuff. Yes, and then in another case, Patriotic Front senior leaders and party members, led by PF chairman in charge of information and publicity, Emmanuel Mwamba, addressed the media outside Lusaka High Court after an inter-party hearing in the case in which Patriotic Front Secretary General has sued Mao Sampa for holding an illegal conference and purporting to have been elected as Patriotic Front president. More details later. So the case has finally commenced in that case, but this is where the video is all about. So if you follow Zambian music for a while, then you know there are 2 labels that made a lot of noise the past, I would say 5 years or 4, they're about from 2018 or 2019, they're about until 2021. 2021, that was where the change came in. So it is this music label called Nexus Music Entertainment Limited and the Calendar Music Promotions. So these are the 2 music labels that made a lot of noise around this period. And both of them eventually have had their own stories. Kalandania with the political involvement, that's where most of the hiccups came from. But with Nexus, it's been the issue with their own artists. So it seems like they've got a new management that is running the label, and there are a lot to say. So this was issued by Abel Black. This is a music manager, promoter. He does he's well informed about the industry. So is this dear Nexus? It was just in response to what they've been posting of late. So, and then Nexus responds to that same post. They say, talk to us. Lost our cool. So in response to that, and then Ebo simply says, I think the manner you are handling current situation in terms of the public relations and brand perception is not good for your brand. If indeed you are returning and planning on returning, there is more professional way to handle matters. So, and then someone says, PR about to lose their job to Ebo. So let me show you where this all started. So the new admin of this page, the Nexus page, there's been an issue for a while. If you know an artist called JMax, that's where everything. But for a while, there's been rumors flying around in the background, but no one ever said anything to say the artists that were once under Nexus Music were not happy with how things were being managed and the things that played out, but no one had said anything. But recently, JMax, one of the artists that was signed to the label, had an interview with Chimweka from Diamond TV. It should have been published like 2 weeks ago or something. So during that interview, he said, I've seen people buy cars from my music. I've seen people pretty much like he trying to say people have made money off his music and he has not made money off it. And then all the online platforms that have his music, he's not in charge of them. Someone else pretty much was complaining to say he wasn't happy with how his deal had played out, and he had no access to look at the statistics of his music, because his music videos and everything, some of them have got a million views, some are as far as 3 million views. So you're saying out of all that, people have made money and he hasn't received anything. All he was given was Wi-Fi. Now, I do not know if Wi-Fi is a code for something or it's literally Wi-Fi internet, but from the insinuation, it seems like it's literally Wi-Fi internet. That's the only thing that he was paid with. But then what triggered everything was this. Dreams, Mr. Music, that's another artist, says, Wi-Fi, and then responding to the Nexus post, simply asking, is this where you give JMax Wi-Fi instead of paying him and stuff? And then Nexus responds to that saying, not true, stop telling lies. And then Afnika on the same response, Afnika, that's another artist, he says, Dreams, Mr. Music, amano over yalikwata sana amano. See me for more details. Pretty much saying, come and see me in privacy so that I tell you what happened. Then Nexus addresses Afnika, says, Afnika, you're not helping to tell people the truth. We shall have no option but to reveal the truth about you and Tishon. So they tag Tishon, he wasn't involved in all this, and then they say, we're going to tell the truth. And the Panse Dreams response to Afnika to say, I'm here for the story, come and tell me. Within the same post, JMax finally responds, who triggered everything here. He says, JMax has entered the chat. Dreams, Mr. Music, bundles have depleted Kuno. So simply saying the Wi-Fi that he was given, the bundles have depleted and he has no access to any of the benefits of that. And then Nexus says, Wi-Fi password still the same, meaning you still can access the internet and stuff. Anyway, they're having a back and forth regarding that. Then finally, Nexus, they said this rant yesterday. So they said, good night. Tomorrow we will talk about why Your Maps is still releasing amazing music and making bank. So Your Maps seems to be like the guy, the standard in the industry right now, even if you don't want to acknowledge it, but he's the guy. Because he's the only artist, if I recall well, that was signed to both labels. And both of them are still crying for him. He was first signed to Calendar Music Promotions. And then when the managing director for Kalandanya had several interviews, he was asked to say, if your Maps wanted to come back, would you take him back? And then he was, yes, obviously it's Maps, because the numbers that he did on the contract that they had signed with them for one album or a couple of singles that they released under calendar, yeah, did very well. Then he went to Nexus, same deal. You can see Nexus referencing him to say he's a standard. Others are crying, how come Yo Maps is not crying and still making money out of his music? They put up this post. And then they go further, notifying the public to say the rebirth, meaning the music label is coming back. Failure will not be an option ever again. The structure, new structure, new roadmap, new blood. So from my understanding, this is the second time Nexus was coming on the scene. I did not know it was on the Zambian market in the early days during just the birth of Mondo Music and them. So it was there, and I don't know the artists that were signed under it, but it's been around for a while. Then it went under, then came back during the 2018-2019 period, and when they signed a bunch of artists. And then Tilo, this is an artist, response to them. Your contracts, your management, and people, your contracts, your management, and people running the firm shouldn't be artists. Seek counsel and put qualified people in the right positions. That's how you run a record label. Otherwise, we'll come back. So simply giving advice to them. So in as much as you might come back, because the people that were running it were artists, you cannot have that. So, and then Nexus responds to them. That's the way that's the way forward. They're going with that format. And then, so the truth, so this is the truth. Each signed artist, this is Nexus now responding to the public, each signed artist was promoted and given money in advance on signings. Simple mathematics. Artist is paid and promoted by the label and pays back in music works sold to Spotify, etc. Now the truth. So simply saying, any artist that wasn't paid was simply paying back the money that the label had invested in them. They put in the money. This is a business. It's not a charity work. They did their part. They promoted the artists. They put up music, and they have to reap the benefits. That's why they did not give access to those platforms in the case of JMax. So simply saying, we're getting back our money. And then now they start airing out issues. So this is where they say, Tishon Baila was paid 50,000 on signing his contract, with a promise to pay the contract amount of 250,000. He released his music on his own account twice with a combined cost of music videos by the label, 80,000. Revenue made by the label, 0. So he simply says the investment that the label had put in Tishon Baila was never recouped, but he made money off that, and he put the music on his own platforms. And then Manas, this is an artist, says, just checking, boss. Wasn't there some pen to paper so that we deal with the matter in court? I think Nexus Music is credible business and not Vuvuzela. Exposing Tishon does not bring revenue to your company. So an advice being given to them to say, this format of you starting to scandalize artists online does not augur well for a big brand like it. Instead of taking it to court, they still go back to Yo Maps, saying, no, look at Yo Maps. This is one of their major stakeholders or shareholders. This is an engineer, I'll read it at the end. So Yo Maps is being used as the yardstick. He has not complained. They have no issues with him, but they're simply saying, look at the one guy that has succeeded, but you cannot use Yo Maps as a yardstick, because Yo Maps succeeded with calendar music promotions. He also succeeded with Nexus, and he's succeeding as an individual artist. So to use him as a yardstick with others seems like unfair. But anyway, he's a guy to beat, and that's a guy that you're using at the moment. So they say the other guy on the left, that's the major shareholder. Let me see if I can read part of this. So why musicians keep releasing amazing music like Yo Maps and making bank? This music industry is incredibly competitive, and there are many factors that contribute to a musician's success or failure. Some of the most important factors include talent. Skilled musicians possess exceptional talent, skill, and unique are more likely to stand out and attract a larger audience. And then they also put in this picture, Engineer Angulube, major shareholder of Nexus Music Entertainment Group and Yo Maps in South Africa in 2022. So this is the image they use to say, I mean, those that succeeded cannot blame it on on the label, and the same thing with the failure. Others are succeeding and others did not. So those that did not get paid, simply the label was getting back its money that they invested in them. So that's the issue in the music industry at the moment. But people are having issues with the way they're handling this thing in public. I mean, but it's one way for them to fight for their own brand. If you look at it, people have been exposing them and throwing shade at them. You find people will be on interviews and saying, "Is that thing still in existence?" So they feel like if shade is thrown at them, they might as well throw it back. They're fighting social media wars online. And this route, people are advising them to sue artists and stuff like that. It will just be a waste of money. I'm sure they stand on solid ground for them to do this. All they will do is just release statistics of the streams and show that people didn't make as much money as they had signed up to do. So that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Drama in the music industry at the moment.